What would I do today if I had $50,000 to invest in New London County? This is Joe Malerba with eXp Realty out of Connecticut. Now, we all know $50,000 is a lot of money to some people and not that much for others. That being said, it's an attainable number, and so I'd like to discuss a little bit how you could take your $50,000 and put it to work today. Now, with $50,000, obviously you're not buying a mansion. You're not buying some incredible house, and it does limit your opportunity to be able to flip a house. Unless you've got a long-term standing relationship with somebody that has a hedge fund and will allow you to flip the properties with 10% down or less, or the hard money lender, your best options are to, one, go hunt for deals with somebody like me and find a multifamily that needs a little bit of love. Since many of the first-time home buyers aren't able to buy a multifamily that needs a little love, you can go out and buy a property today that needs to be worked on, that might need a new kitchen, that might need new bathrooms, maybe the siding's a little messed up. And you can take that money, and over time you can fix it up, and you can make it worth significantly more. I've had multiple clients of mine buy properties in the $250,000 to $300,000 range in the last 2 years that are now worth between $400,000 and $500,000. They are sitting on at least $100,000 in equity in most of these scenarios. That was built on improving the property, putting the money back into the property, and allowing the property to do what it does best, which is appreciate over time. Now, this is a very short window, but properties are valued based on what the rents are. If you have a terrible apartment that's ugly, that's got problems, it's never going to rent for what a nice, clean apartment is. So the real juice is in taking the property with very low rents, taking the properties with apartments that haven't been taken care of, fixing those properties up, making them a little better, and increasing the rents dramatically. We had one multifamily that my clients bought last November. They bought for $285,000. Total down payment on this was 20%, so $56,000. Had a little bit of closing costs, so they're all at about $66,000, a little bit higher than our $50,000 target number. When they purchased the property, day one, the rents were $2,300 a month. We have been able to put a little bit of money into the property, to clean it up a little bit, and by this May, we will have the rents at $3,900 a month. So within a 6 to 7 month window after closing on this property, we will have increased the rents by $1,600 a month. The property will cash flow an easy $1,200 a month for them after paying me to manage it and paying for maintenance and paying the mortgage and all the costs, meaning that with a $70,000 total investment, they're making about 20% cash on cash. These are very consistent investments that we do every single month, and we can certainly help you find one. Now, when you're looking to buy these houses, if you're going to owner-occupy them, it dramatically decreases the amount that you need to put down. As an owner-occupant, you could put 5% down, and that will allow you a little bit of a buffer to have more to fix it up. If you're not an owner-occupied, then you would have to do either an investment loan or a DSCR loan. DSCR stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. Now, it took me about 15 to 16 years in my business to actually get and understand these DSCR loans. And now we use them all the time. They're one of the best tools that you can use. What does that mean for you as an investor? Why should you know about it? What a DSCR loan is you're using the property's income to pay the debt service. So whatever the income is has to be at least 1.2 times the debt service. That's why it's called DSCR, Debt Service Coverage Ratio. So if you're collecting $2,400 in rent, you have to have a $2,000 below mortgage. Where this gets even more fun is that you are actually able to use projected rents on these properties in order to cover the debt. So we can build something called a pro forma. With a pro forma, you're allowed to get a really good estimated guess on where the expenses will be, These are things like capital expenditures, long-term expenditures like roofs and furnaces and windows, as well as day-to-day maintenance, as well as vacancy rates. We can figure out what the insurance and the taxes are and the property management, and we can build out a really beautiful formula to figure out where the income is today and where it should be, and then project that. The lender can use this document to then decide if it's reasonable and if they're going to loan you the money. This is one of the greatest tools as you're looking to expand your portfolio in order to have more properties without having to go through all the headaches of a standard loan. DSCR loans are much simpler, they're much quicker, you pay a little bit more interest rates, but as somebody like myself that owns 30 or 40 properties, it makes it much easier to go out and get one. So if you've got some money to invest, I promise you New London County should be a place that you're absolutely looking at. Give me a call at 860-912-7315. We'd love to help you strategize and find your dream investment that will be sure to appreciate and help you gain long-term wealth. I'm Joe Malerba from Connecticut.